Okay, afternoon, gang. Sorry, just got some new Chinese tea in, which is absolutely delicious. Flown in last week, Maoshan and jasmine. But anyway, we're not here to talk about tea. I'm here to talk about some stuff that's doing the rounds on social media. So I thought it would deserve my my penny's worth. As usual, these things get traction. I do wonder whether people actually mean this. Is it a lack of knowledge, or are they just using it to cut through the noise and try and be heard on social media? I don't know. Anyway, maybe they should know better. Anyway, so the thing is, the posts are as follows. Oh, we're so busy at the moment, trying to be a mum, trying to, start a business, and then the holistic people are telling us we've got to sleep well, and then we've got to eat well, and we've got to do our strength training, and we've got to get our steps in, and we've got to breathe well, and all of this stuff. So basically fleshing it out like, normally they're trying to sell you something, like we're told to do all these things, and I understand that it's too much, and don't worry, you don't have to come here, I'll give you a hug, and then you can buy my training program where we'll dumb everything down. I'm not sure what the idea is, but here's my version of that. And I would get it totally, because there's a lot of grifters out there selling you a lot of tut that you don't need, and the biohackers are throwing lots of things that you've got to wake up and put sun in your eyes, and then you've actually got to then go and buy a red light mask for the night, and you've got to buy some blue light blockers, and you've got to do a hyperbaric oxygen chamber and all of this nonsense. And then you've got to buy these supplements. So I get there's that side, but when it's real foundational functional stuff for the human body, I don't think you can escape it. Yes, you've got to sleep well, because try sleeping badly and see what that does for the mind, for the body, for your energy, for your nutrition and behavior the next day, your performance output. It'll completely kibosh it. So don't confuse the dashboard with the engine. And what I mean by that is the dashboard's got lots of different settings on it, right, telling you lots of different things, but ultimately it's feeding back into the how to get the best use out of the engine. So you may have tire pressure on there, engine oil, petrol. If any of those things are off, that's the engine's down, the whole system's down. So it's the same. We're not looking at 5 to 10 different elements. We kind of are, but ultimately what we're looking at is the health of the human organism. And unfortunately for everyone else, or the benefit of the body, the intelligence of the body, is that everything is interrelated. If you look at the organ systems, they all interrelate. If the brain is off or down or ill or has an injury to it, then everything downstream is affected. If the heart has a problem with it, then all the tissues, all the peripheries, nothing's getting the oxygen, the blood flow, the nutrients. If the lungs are off, then the amount of air and oxygen is going to be debilitated, and so the whole system's going to crash. If the liver isn't working optimally, the detoxifier, then again, there's going to be a systemic issue because of that. So everything's interrelated, everything is impactful. So more than one thing has to be looked at, because it's a highly fine-tuned piece of evolution. So in the health world, just going and doing strength training is not really going to cut the mustard for health, longevity, performance. Just looking at nutrition, it needs a whole systemic, holistic approach with lots of interrelated areas. I also say for example, with sleep, often it's not the area you want to correct where the problem lies, because it's a holistic machine. So for example, with sleep, unless you're burning the candle at both ends, where quantity of sleep needs to be addressed, right? So if you're only getting 3 hours of sleep a night, then yeah, we need to just increase the quantity. We need to look in the bucket of sleep for the correction, increase the quantity. But for most people, you can lie in bed for 9 hours each day, but if you're not getting the quality of sleep, where most people struggle with getting to sleep or staying asleep, then that's a problem. And often the solution for that lies in the buckets outside of sleep, lies in the other elements. So for example, your state of mind getting into bed, whether you're super stressed, anxious, just had an argument with someone, or angry, that's going to impair your sleep quality. Your breathing patterns throughout the sleep, whether you've got sleep apnea, snoring, or the pattern's off and so you're not getting that nice rhythm and oxygen into the system, that's going to impair sleep. Your blood sugar levels going into sleep, if you had a dessert and you've now got a blood sugar drop at about 1, 2 in the morning, that's going to impair sleep. Whether you go to bed on a full stomach or not will impair sleep. How much movement you've done that day, is whether you're physically tired and ready for sleep, is going to be an issue. The temperature of the room, etc. So many other areas come into producing that. So the body is holistic, the body is interrelated. We need to have a holistic, interrelated approach when we look at it. But just as one system can take down all the others, so for example, if we use sleep, then if you don't sleep that well, then your nutrition and your cravings and your energy requirements the next day are going to be off. Your mental performance and acuity is going to be off. Your physical performance and strength is going to be off. Your motivation is going to be, etc. It's going to like run amok through all the other different areas. Conversely, if you upgrade one of them, it will also filter into the others and upgrade them. So yes, we need to look often at lots of different areas, but sometimes for someone, just one area can come and do it. So yes, sleeping, eating, moving, breathing, thinking, mindset, all of these have to be looked at. But also, you're not, and this is my main point to this, you're not having to go and do and find time to do all of these things, which are what the message really is coming across. How do we have the time to do all of these things? I'm already trying to be a mum and start a business, and then I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 things, right? But we're already doing these things. We're already sleeping, we're already breathing, we're already eating, we already do some shopping or get the shopping ordered coming in. We're already walking between the chores we do. Most of us already have some exercise slots within the week, whether you go to a yoga class or you go for a walk on a Sunday or you see a PT or whatever. So within the week, there's maybe 2 windows. I mean, someone who's completely sedentary and does no exercise, then yes, we may have to find 1 or 2 slots a week. But that's not as hard as you think. It's the other things people seem to have the problem about. The human conditioned mind is okay to, find exercise, typically, I found. But they seem to like turn their nose up at the things they do anyway, that just need a little bit of tweaking. It's like, everyone brushes their teeth each day and shower. So it'd just be like me going, well, you're still going to brush your teeth, but instead of using a manual brush, I'm going to upgrade you to use an electric toothbrush. Instead of using that cheap stuff that's not great for your skin in the shower, that Radox, you're now going to use, make up a brand name, insert it. So you're still doing the same things, we're just kind of tweaking them as we go, and it doesn't take that much extra time, effort or energy in order just to tweak those and nourish those so the whole system kind of works. And we're basically creating good foundations for the natural body to do its own thing. When you cut yourself, you don't really have to think and spend a lot of time on how to heal the wound. The body's intelligence will do it. If you clean the wound, put a plaster on it, get a good night's sleep, leave it alone, the body you're setting the conditions for the body to do it. And we're doing the same thing. Same with the plant. The plant's sick, you sort of, you change the soil, you water it, you put it in the sunlight, you set the conditions right, let it do its thing. And unfortunately, there's a few elements to it, And so with the human body, we look after the body, we look after the mind, we look after the energy, we look after the sleep, the eating, the moving, the breathing, the thinking. Whatever, all those inputs that go into it, that it's doing anyway. So anyway, that's my message. I'm going to finish it there. Any comments, any questions, feel free to send them in. It's always great to hear.